Hi YouTube and welcome back to my channel. So I decided this time I am going to do a house tour video. I did one over 3 years ago when we first moved into this house, well, 3.5 years ago at this point. And I did it just before we moved in so that when I did the tour everything was pretty much empty. There was no furniture, nothing else. So I just kind of showed off the layout of the house. And so since moving in, I've always meant to do another video with all the furniture in place and that kind of thing. Unfortunately, because of my husband, he really didn't like the idea of me doing it, so I just didn't, in deference to him. However, since, you know, he's no longer with me, I figured I might as well go ahead and do that. I've been wanting to for a long time, and the house is pristine for the most part at the moment, or as pristine as it's gonna get, because I'm having a party this weekend. So I thought now would be a really good time to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just transition into the actual tour. Please enjoy. Alright, so I'm going to start the tour from the front door. So as you walk into my house, the first thing you'll see, besides the dogs back there, is this long corridor that leads all the way out to the backyard, the kitchen, living room, etc. And just to the right of the front door is my dining room. And we can take a little peek in here. I've got my dining room in here. This plant is actually an outdoor plant, but because of winter coming, I have brought it inside and I didn't have any place else to put it. So right now it's just kind of sitting on the dining room table. And then here I have a window seat, and it has a custom cushion on there and pillows, but my dogs like to sit on there, so there's a blanket trying to protect the cushion from too much fur and everything else. But they love looking out of the door there. And then in here, through here, there's another passage from the dining room out to the kitchen, and there's a butler's pantry in there. And we can kind of scoot around this way. And I'm not going to show too much, but the butler's pantry is where I keep all my recycling baskets. And then I'm setting up for a party this weekend for Halloween, and so I've got all my party supplies and things kind of sitting in there. And we can kind of walk through this way into the kitchen. So here is my kitchen, and the stairs, there's the door for the basement and then the stairs upstairs and everything. And here's sort of my my coffee tea station and everything. I've got my Keurig, and I have a hot water boiler. And even though that looks like sugar, it's not. It's actually something called erythritol. It's a sugar alcohol, and it's what I use for a sweetener. That way I don't take in too much sugar because I drink tea a lot during the day. And then here you can see just a quick peek. I have all my mugs in here, my tea and everything else. And then swinging around this way, here is the rest of my kitchen. This is where I do most of my cooking. In fact, if you saw my cooking video, this is where I prepared everything with the stove and everything and my microwave and the Halloween candy ready to be given out. And then I've got over here, I've got a security camera feed because I have a security camera and a security system in my house. So just in case, since I'm living alone these days. And then finally over here I have a kitchen island with a dishwasher, and then of course the double sinks and everything else. I love this kitchen, I really do. It's nice and big. I've got lots of counter space, lots of room to work, and it just makes it for a really great kitchen for cooking and everything. Oh, and the newest thing is I just put these pendant lights in. Those were recessed lights, and I just use a conversion kit, so they're just screwed into the recessed lights. The recessed lights are actually still there. It's just kind of screwed into where the recessed lights would go. And I don't know, I just like that pendant light look. So I think that looks kind of classy. I don't know, that's just me. And then just a real quick, there's a door that door leads into my laundry room and then out to the garage. And I won't show you that because it's a mess. And then I have a little guest bathroom in over here, so that if I have a party or anything, people have a place to go to the bathroom. And here, as I said, this is the door down to the basement, and it's pried open with a baby gate, and you can see there's a little hole down at the bottom of the gate. It's actually a pet gate. That way the cat can go up and down, and all the cats supplies and stuff are down there. Keeps the dogs from eating eating the cat's food and stuff. I had this little nook over here, and this is actually this setup with the vase and everything. This is something that my husband actually had set up in his old house, and I didn't know where else to put it, and I just thought it looked kind of nice right here in this little nook, because I don't know what else would go in there. So just kind of a little decorative thing there. And then coming back around, so the kitchen actually has this built-in desk, and I actually did have a computer here for a while, but then I started getting all these plants and I didn't know where else to put them, and this is a good window to get sunlight in the mornings, so I actually just started putting plants here, and I don't have any computers here at this point. I got a shredder over here. My husband was actually really into shredding documents, so we actually had a shredder at every in both of our offices and down here. This is the primary one that I use, and it can shred like really thick magazines and all sorts of things. Anywho, so here's the living room, and as you can tell, over here there's a fireplace, and then there's this kind of nook in the wall, and that was supposed to be where the entertainment center is supposed to go. So the couch should actually be over here, and then the TV would be over there, except for the fact that that nook isn't wide enough to fit our TV. It's a 55-inch TV. And so we're like, okay, that's not going to work. Plus, I never really liked this design where it's kind of this asymmetrical, the fireplace and the TV next to each other. I just really don't like that look. So kind of having my back to it is good. This nook works really well for a bookshelf right now. Although if I ever get to a point where I can afford it and everything, I'm actually going to have this entire wall completely redesigned so that the fireplace will be central to the wall, with the bookshelf will just get moved up to my office or something like that, and get rid of that nook entirely, because I really just don't like, this is the only part of the house I don't like, is that. Call me picky, but anywho, but yes, here's the living room. I've got the case with the DVDs and everything over along the window, and more plants, because there's, again, another good place for sunshine and such. And then I know these are my husband's really fancy speakers that he had bought. I don't know if you're an audiophile, if you can have any appreciation for these kind of speakers, but anywho, they produce good sound and everything. And this is sort of the setup. We got a PlayStation 4 down there and a DVR, and then there's the amp and I guess the central channel for the speaker system, and then of course the TV. And hi. And my husband and I used to play Guitar Hero quite a bit, so that's why I have two guitars. And then I went and got Rockstar, I think that's the name of it. Or is it the other way around? I forget which one's which. But anyway, but there's only one guitar there because I'm the only one playing that one at this point. So, and these couches are actually, these were my couches. I had these in my old townhouse before I moved in with Dave. And so these are like 8 or 9 years old now, but they're holding up pretty well. The dogs do go on them, and I do have housekeepers who help me keep the fur to a minimum on them. But they're really comfy couches. I really love them. Anywho, so there's that. And then if you just kind of take a little walk over here to the sliding door, you can kind of see I don't have a deck yet. That deck is going to be built later this year. Supposedly they're gonna start construction in December, and so it's one of the things I had done. You'll see that I've got lawn over here, and actually it's an L shape and it goes around the side of the house. But over here it's all rock, and that's because that's where the deck is going in. Now the deck isn't going to be that big. It's not going to cover all the rock. But one of the things I wanted to do was get rid of the lawn, and then around the outside of the deck that's going in, I'll do some xeriscaping, putting in some bushes and flowering plants, that kind of thing. So haven't decided exactly what I'm planting yet, but that's the plan there. So swinging around this way, and look down the corridor out to the front door. And then over here, right off of the living room, is the master bedroom. And you can see this is also where the dogs sleep and everything else, and the cat. So there's the bed. If you're wondering about the stairs are for the cat primarily. He's 15 and he struggles to jump sometimes these days. So I put these stairs in, and the dogs can use it too, except that they're still pretty young and they prefer jumping. But I've got this nice bay window in here. I've got a lot of windows in this room, and then I've got sort of this little piece of art. I've got my my vanity over here. This is the newest piece of furniture I've added. I really like this. It's one of those you build it yourself kind of things, but that's what I put in here recently. And then over here, this is actually from the builder, because this house was a experimental build from the builder of the neighborhood, so we did not get to choose a lot of the things in here. But instead of a standard closet, he put in a custom IKEA built-in that apparently the builder himself actually physically came in and put this in. He didn't have his guys do it. So anyhow, it works. As one side has like a shelves for shoes and everything, and the other side it just has lots of places to hang clothes up and down and everything. And I got the big double doors in here for the bedroom. And then right off of here is the master bath. Now you'll notice that there's no door connecting the bedroom and the bathroom. That was just sort of the builder's choice. I actually don't mind not having a door between the bed and bath. It works for me. I do eventually want to change the colors in here, because everything is gray walls, gray carpeting, everything else, and I would like to add some color. That's one thing I do plan to do one of these days. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. So here's the master bath, and you can see here it's got these fancy sinks and stuff, which are really great, except for the fact that they're designed for tall people. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm only 5'4", so whenever I'm trying to wash my face on these sinks, I have to go on my tiptoes, and I still have water running down my arms and stuff, which I really hate. So I eventually want to get rid of these and have sinks that are actually embedded in the countertop, because as cool looking as these sinks are, because they're really cool looking sinks, but they just don't work for people who are short like me. There's a toilet in there, there's another walk-in closet in there, and again, don't need to see the mess. I still have some organizing to do about stuff, but here's one of my favorite features, is the soaker tub. I love the soaker tub, and you'd think it was designed for 2 people, but the one thing is that the one side slopes, so you can actually sit with your back reclined and it's nice and comfortable. The other side does not. It's straight up and down. So that side's less comfortable. I'm like, why is it designed to look like it's for 2 people, but then it's not? That's kind of unfair, in my opinion. So, anywho, but there's my favorite part of the bathroom, and then we've got the nice walk-in 2-person shower as well. It's got a nice little seat there. I don't use the seat very often. It's really good for shaving legs, though, I can tell you, and for storing things, but you know, maybe as I get older and if I have less mobility and stuff, having a seat in the shower might be a nice feature and stuff. And again, you can see the shower head is way up there, because again, designed for tall people. I'm guessing the builder must have been a tall person. Anyhow, so there's the master. I'm gonna skip the basement because it's unfinished. There's just the cat stuff down there and storage and stuff, so I'm not gonna do that, but we'll go upstairs now. So, I don't even remember if the last time I did the tour, I know the house, we hadn't moved in yet. Oh yeah, the carpeting was in here already, because I know that not everything was completely built out yet. I don't remember, maybe it was. Anyhow, so one of the, also the newest, or newer things I've done here in the loft is add a nice little reading nook with 2 chairs and a table. Now, I know it's just me and not just my husband and I, but I always pictured this spot for my husband and I to sit and talk and share a drink or read or whatnot. And so, even though he's not here, I still got a chair for him anyway, because, I don't know, just felt right. And when we first saw this house, this loft was all the way back to that back window that you see there. This was not framed out, and we did not want all of this to be open like this. I really wanted an office, and so we had them. That was one of the changes we did get, because there was a closet door at the end of this little short hallway, but they framed that out, got rid of the door, framed this in, put the door in here, and now I have an office as well as the studio. So this is also where I was doing a lot of my filming for my vlogs. So obviously I'm doing it in the reading nook now, but you can see I've got my lights here, and I can bring them out to the loft to do lighting if I need to, even though, as you can see here from just sitting from the loft, I get a lot of light from these big old windows that are over there, along with this window over here. So generally I might not need to use my my lights as much, but I have them just in case I do need them. And then here, of course, is my desk. Like I said, this is my office. So I've got my my office chair and everything. The big 27-inch monitor that you see back there, that is the primary one that I use for gaming and everything else. It's connected to the computer that you can see down there. That's my Digital Storm gaming system. And then this monitor over here is connected to a Unix box that's down there, and it runs a bot for me for IRC and a number of other things. And I've just kind of got the rest of my my desk. And one of the things I always wanted was this U-shaped type of desk with the hutches and everything, because just having more desktop space, I've always liked that and everything. This chair, by the way, I got this at Walmart like 15 years ago, and it's actually still going strong. It's a really great chair, considering it was like $100. It was, you know, it's actually doing really well. And obviously you can see the brightness outside the window. So I got this beautiful window. I can't really see out of it while I'm sitting down, but way in the distance back there, there's mountains. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's mountains, and there's the rest of my neighborhood here a little bit, and then some more kind of office-y stuff. And then this is the closet. It's supposed to be a linen closet. It's got lots of shelves in there, and again, a mess, so I'm not going to show you, but it's just all shelves, so it's actually perfect office supply closet. And then there's my sad aquarium. The aquarium itself died 2 or 3 years ago already, and I've not had it restocked or redone, and you can still see all the salt stuck to the glass and everything. I haven't cleaned it ever. So one of these days I can have a professional come in and like completely clean out the tank and get me some new fish and plants and things, and help me maintain a proper aquarium. But for right now, it's just not a priority, so I just really haven't done anything with it. Alright, so now to the rest of the upstairs. So over here, one is a beautiful piece of art that my uncle used to be a semi-professional photographer, and that's one of his pieces. So I have that up here. And then another guest bath. So just in case the downstairs guest bath is being used, there's always this one. Plus, you know, this is also the one they use if I'm upstairs in my office. Very convenient to be able to go and use the restroom there. Now this is my guest room. This was my husband's bedroom because we did not share a room for many reasons, but he snored and he liked cold, I liked hot, etc. So we kind of had separate rooms. This room does not look anything like it did when he occupied it, because he loved having mountains of clothes on the floor, because, you know, he's a boy. And he has there's blackout curtain, not curtain, but shades on the window, which I have pulled up right now so you can have some light in here. But I completely got new bedding for this, because I actually had my sisters come and take care of me during the memorial service and everything. So I needed to have a guest room, and so that was actually one of the first things I did, was transform this room into a guest room. There's another walk-in closet over there. Not messy, but empty, so no point in showing it. And then I got rid of... My husband actually had 2 chest of drawers. I only kept the one, and it's empty right now anyway. And then this is one piece of art. We did one of those paint and drink wine type of evenings, and this is a piece that he did, and I actually really liked how it came out, so I've kept it. And I have that hanging in here. And upstairs here, this is actually supposed to be like the kids' floor. So you have one bedroom here with the Jack and Jill bath, you know, very Brady kids. And then there's another, what should be a bedroom back there. So here's, like I said, the Jack and Jill bath with another two sink thing. And see, this is the kind of sinks I need, is that they're embedded in the countertop, and so because they're embedded in the counter, they're lower down, and so this setup actually would work better for me. I don't know if I would get exactly the style of sink for myself downstairs, but I definitely want it to be this kind of thing where it's embedded in the countertop. So I've got that going on, and then I added a new shower curtain in here as well. I just kind of redid all of this just so that it's more me, number one, and number two, fewer memories of my husband. I have photos up and that kind of thing of him, and that's all I really need right now. Anywho, so this room over here, as you can tell, is a gym. This used to be my husband's office. I obviously cleared that out, and his desk is now a workbench in my garage now. But a friend of mine, she wasn't using her elliptical, so she gave me her elliptical, which was really, really nice of her. I'm still very grateful that she did that. So now I have this elliptical. And then this is my husband's weight bench, and I haven't really been using it, but I will at some point in the future start to use it. I'm just starting to get back into working out and things. And then this is a table where I used to have a TV on this table. It's actually that TV, and that was in the master bedroom where the vanity is now. It used to be this table with this TV on top of it. But I decided to move this all up here for the gym instead. You know, why buy a new TV when I have one? This is a Samsung Smart TV, so it just hooks up to our Wi-Fi in the house. And actually, I think I have the Ethernet. Actually, yes, actually I do. So it's actually hardwired, because this was my husband's office, and so the Ethernet port was actually right behind this table. So, and a friend of mine helped me hang the TV up so that it's at eye-line height for the elliptical, so that works really well. And in the future, one of the things I used to like to do is I used to like to paint, and I still have, well, this easel is my husband's. He was using it with a whiteboard, but I can use it as an art easel. I need to have a little table and a stool over here, so that I can have the art supplies on a little table, and then have a little stool that I could sit in front of to do the painting. But this room gets a lot of good light, especially in the afternoons, so I figured this would be a really good place to do that. So this is sort of like my gym slash art studio. And then I have my husband's master's degree diploma. I decided to put that up in here, and I may or may not put more art up on the walls at some point as well. We'll see. And then there is yet another closet, and that pretty much concludes the tour of the house. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the tour, and if you have any questions or comments about anything that you saw in the tour, let me know in the comments below. And I hope you liked this video, so thumbs up please. That's always a helpful thing, and I love comments and questions and things. And I think someone recently left a comment asking me to do a video talking about my middle school years, and so technically I never went to middle school, long story, but perhaps that will be something else I will do as a next video. I might do more cooking videos. I don't know. That video hasn't gotten a lot of views, so I don't know how popular that is. It takes a lot of time to set up and prep and everything, so I will probably continue doing them, but I probably won't do them as frequently, just because of how much prep time and everything it takes. So I will do them when I just happen to be in the mood to. But in the meantime, if you want more, let me know, and maybe I'll be convinced to do them more often. And if there's anything else you would like to see me talk about, or any opinions you want me to express, or anything else, just let me know. I love communicating in the chat, in the comments. I'm very much into typing and talking to people in comments and things. So anyway, until next time, take care. Bye-bye.